Hey, friends and family. This week we're talking about relationship skills under our social emotional learning competencies. And we're building off of what we talked about last week. Last week we were really talking about emotional connections. Specifically, we were identifying when we've connected with an emotion in a piece of art, music, movie, writing, something like that, that we felt spoke to how we feel, and then trying to extrapolate that onto sharing our emotions and connecting emotionally with other people. And that's such an important thing when we are building relationships and trying to empathize with others, is that realization that other people have similar feelings that we have, and they may manifest themselves in very different ways. I think about that in politics or in any situation where it's two sides, two belief systems clashing with each other, is the importance of trying to find common ground, which isn't always presented to us. That's a frustrating thing to me when we see politics that are about cutting down other people or about anything that's about dividing people instead of finding that common ground. Because I think even if we have opposing views on things, they're often motivated by similar feelings. We all want to feel safe and included and loved and all of those sorts of things. Those are basic human needs. And we might manifest them in different ways. And a lot of the times we present things and behave in certain ways because it's something we've learned. It's something that's been kind of built into us. And that's what we're looking at this week. We're taking a self-assessment and talking about social norms and social programming. And sometimes those phrases can have negative connotations, but they don't have to be negative. Really, social norms are about the unwritten rules, the things that we generally agree upon. And when I say we, certain groups or a broader society are kind of agreed upon things. And social programming, in its simple form, is that we're kind of trained to adhere to these social norms. And that's not all bad. A lot of social norms are great. Looking people in the eyes when we're talking to them. If you go into a movie theater and there's only one other person there, we probably don't go and pick the seat right next to them. There's some unwritten rules and personal boundaries and things like that. So it's not to say these things are bad. But as we are kind of on the path toward what is hopefully some level of self-actualization, is at least thinking about what social programming, what social norms have impacted the way that I think and feel about things. And a lot of times when we're young, growing up, when we're really young, we're pretty open-minded, and as we get older, there are more and more programming things, more and more social norms that we're exposed to that we feel we have to fit into. And again, it's okay to find those things that I really believe in this, or I find some comfort in this group or this belief system or whatever it is. I'm not trying to challenge what anyone else thinks or feels, but I want us this week thinking about what are some social norms, what are some types of social programming that happen at large and in our individual lives. Because anytime we want to change ourselves, change our situation, it starts with taking an assessment of, okay, what's really happening here? So that's what we're talking about this week. That helps with building relationships, is trying to understand this person's been exposed to these sorts of things, so maybe that's why this person believes these things or acts in this way. And on the flip side, I've been exposed to these things, this is how I was brought up, these are the things that have impacted me. So this is why or at least it's a component of why I think and feel the way that I do. Let's have another great week. Much love.